Welcome to The Holistic Entrepreneur with success coach, holistic nurse practitioner, and best-selling author, Bonnie Groessl. Bonnie shares inspirational and enlightening content to educate, empower, and facilitate well-being while nurturing the mind-body-spirit connection. This boost of positive energy will help you manage stress and make the most of your life, allowing you to thrive in the new normal. Now, please welcome the host of The Holistic Entrepreneur, Bonnie Groessl.
Well, welcome everyone. This is Bonnie Groessl, your host here at The Holistic Entrepreneur. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful that you are willing to share your valuable time with me. So if this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you've tuned in before, welcome back. I hope that you find this will be another valuable episode that will help you on your journey to better well-being. Now, I always want to remind you that the information presented here is educational, inspirational, and motivational in nature. But I always want you to just take what fits for you and simply let go of the rest. Now, this show does not intend or imply to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment either. I always want to preface every show with that little reminder for all of us. And remember to check out the show page before you leave today. I have special offers and links. Everything that we talk about is linked down there if there's a link to go to. So make sure you check that out before you leave today. And I always want to take a moment on every show to remind you to take a moment for you. To take a moment and just stop. Just take a nice deep breath and then slowly let it out. That exhale should be longer than the inhale for the best benefit. And notice the air coming in and the air going out. Notice what a beautiful human being you are. Oh my goodness, I want to always remind you to stop and just notice. Now maybe this is the only moment you take for yourself. And if that's the way it is, then that's the way it is. But this is so important to your well-being. The more you can do this, the better. Now the last time we talked about beginning a meditation practice. And now today we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I mean, maybe you feel that beginning a practice doesn't really fit into your life right now. Maybe you feel like you don't have the time. Well, today we're going to talk about incorporating mindful meditation into your daily life so that it doesn't take any extra time. And we'll even talk about how you can use this to lose weight if losing weight is something you want to do. Now, as we've talked about previously, our breathing is more shallow or maybe irregular when we're stressed. Well, I want to share with you a simple technique from the HeartMath Institute that is really helpful for this. It's called heart-focused breathing. It's about directing your attention to your heart area and feeling like you're breathing from your heart. You're really still breathing with your lungs, but you're feeling like that air is coming in and going out through your heart. And you're breathing a little more deeply than normal. So as you breathe in, imagine all that air coming into your heart. And as you breathe out, imagine it's going through your heart to leave. By placing your hand over your heart, you can feel your chest rise and fall. And if you want to add a little extra energy medicine to it, you can actually cross your hands over the center of your chest, not exactly on your heart, but the center of your chest to protect that heart chakra. And that adds a little boost of love and energy because there's energy in your hands and there's also energy in your heart. We'll talk more about that in a future episode. But whether you place your hand on your heart, over your heart, or in the center of your chest, or you don't use your hands at all. It doesn't matter. It's all about imagining that you're breathing in and out through your heart. Now, HeartMath recommends that you breathe in and out a little longer, like 5 to 6 seconds. And as always, I suggest that the exhale should be a bit longer than the inhale, because that activates that parasympathetic nervous system. That's the relaxing part of our nervous system. So be sure that your breathing is, smooth and comfortable and not forced. This should feel natural. It may not feel natural at first because you're not used to breathing like this, but the more you do it, the easier and more natural it will feel. It'll just take a little bit of time to get used to it. Now, heart-focused breathing doesn't take any time really out of your day. It's just thinking about it, thinking about breathing in this way. But it can add a tremendous benefit to your life. And many people find that heart-focused breathing is an excellent way to start and finish their days, when they wake up in the morning and just before they fall asleep at night. But you can really do this anytime. And just like all of this stuff, the more you do it, actually, the better it is. So try taking a break, when you're in the middle of doing something, and just pay attention and imagine that air coming in and going out through your heart. Now let's talk about mindful eating. Jon Kabat-Zinn introduced this exercise, this little technique, as a Buddhist technique in a stress reduction clinic many years ago, actually. This exercise has been around for a while. But it's an easy way to get the benefit of being mindful while you're eating. And it's a fantastic way, I have found, to reduce the portion size of the food that you're eating. So I know that I struggle with this, and maybe you do too. So I go back to this exercise from time to time to just help me sort of be mindful, and it really helps my eating habits and allows me to control my portion size. And if you're trying to lose weight or maintain your weight or whatever, you might be concerned about not eating too much, not overeating. And so there's a few things that you're going to need for this exercise. You're going to need a raisin or a craisin or something like that. M&Ms work too, but they melt a little too quickly, and so it doesn't always the best thing to use. So if you've got raisins in the house, that's really the best. And then you'll need a timer or a clock or a stopwatch or something like that so that you can keep track of the time. Because the goal is that we're going to spend 3 to 5 minutes eating just one raisin. It's all about noticing and being present. Most people laugh when I tell them we're going to spend 3 to 5 minutes eating one raisin because they've never done it before. They think it's kind of silly. But it is so helpful for you in noticing your food. So I'm going to walk you through that on today's episode. How often do we eat and not really experience our food? This happens all the time. We're just like shoveling stuff in our mouths, and we're not even tasting it some of the time. Well, if you learn to do this technique and you use it from time to time, as I do, it allows you to be more satisfied just eating 1 or 2 little pieces rather than a whole bag of M&Ms as an example, right? So first, let's walk through this. So first, if you've got a raisin or something, and you might want to listen to this episode again when you can go get something if you don't have it just handy, but pick up that raisin. We're going to use that as our example. Pick it up in your fingers, in your 2 fingers, on and notice all the things that you can notice about it. The wrinkles, the color, the fragrance. You might want to smell it. See how it feels between your fingers. And then when you've noticed everything that there is to notice about this raisin, you can slowly put it up to your lips, but not in your mouth yet. We're just going to put it on the lips first. Just touch it to your lips and see what you notice. How does it feel? Notice the texture, the wrinkle, the firmness. Is there saltiness to it? How it smells. When you've noticed all that you can about that raisin, that one little raisin on your lips, then go ahead and put it in your mouth. But don't bite into it right away. I want you to roll it around in your tongue and see what you notice. We have different taste buds in different parts of our tongue. So it'll taste different in different places. And again, notice the texture and the wrinkles. And you might even be able to detect an aroma because there's a connection between our mouth and our nose, the pharynx. So just keep rolling that raisin around, noticing everything that's possible. And it might change texture, become softer, spongier, or taste different. And watch the clock while you're doing all of this to see how much time has passed. Remember, the goal is to take 3 to 5 minutes just to eat this one raisin. And when you've noticed everything that you can, then you can go ahead and take a bite. Don't chew it all at once, but just take one bite. Let it squish in between your teeth. Notice what that feels like. Notice the flavor, the sweetness, the texture, if you can smell the aroma. And then continue to chew it slowly, enjoying the entire flavor. The response I get from people often when they do this exercise is they've never realized how much flavor there is in one raisin. So this exercise allows you to experience eating in a whole new way, to experience the savoring part of eating your food rather than just eating as a activity that you do in your day. So that's what makes the difference between a little bit of something and a whole bag of something satisfying you. In other words, when we don't pay attention to what we're doing, we're not mindful, we're not present, and we don't get that full experience. So learning to do a little exercise like this allows you to feel what that's like. And that's what makes the difference in being able to control your portions. So I know I do this from time to time, as I mentioned, because I forget and I just shovel the food in while I'm, doing something else or watching TV, which I don't recommend doing. I know I do that and that's not good. But I need to bring myself back to why I'm eating. It's really to nourish my body. And you can also be mindful when you're doing other things. You can be mindful while you're driving. The unconscious mind really kind of takes over the wheel after we learn to drive, and we pull in the conscious mind if you need to, like there's something in the road or whatever. But actually, we don't really pay that much attention to it. It's like, did I stop at that last stop sign? It's we're in that sort of highway hypnosis state. But if you're actually being mindful, we're really more attentive while driving. So it's a safer way to drive. So when you're in the car, notice how it feels being in the seat of the car, in the vehicle. What's your state of alertness and your surroundings are going to heighten with all of this. And then notice your breathing, the sensation of your hands on the steering wheel. All that information coming through your eyes and ears. Accidents happen when we're not paying attention. So being mindful and paying attention is actually a safer way to drive. And you can also be mindful while running or walking. You can pace your breathing to your stride, whether you're, walking or whether you're jogging. If you do mindfulness meditative walking, it's a different kind of walking. You actually walk very slowly, being mindful of every movement. And as you walk, you breathe in as you raise your foot, and then you breathe out as you lower your foot to the ground, and you continue to walk in that fashion. That's what mindfulness walking is, mindfulness meditative walking. But you can do it with regular walking too. Just pace your breathing and your stride to what you're focused on, because that's what meditation is all about. So you can practice mindfulness meditation in front of the mirror. How often do you look at yourself in the mirror when you brush your teeth? Probably not very often. Your eyes are probably half closed. But stand in front of the mirror, take some nice breaths, and relax for a moment. And then look into the mirror with new eyes. Notice yourself in the mirror. And actually look at yourself. Look at your eyes in the mirror. And then brush your teeth mindfully. Or brush your hair mindfully. Slowly, carefully, paying attention to how you're doing it. And notice how it feels. Notice everything that you can notice. If you're brushing your teeth, notice the taste. How fresh your mouth feels. The taste of the toothpaste. And express gratitude. Be grateful, be thankful that you have a healthy mouth, right? Healthy gums, healthy tongue. And the role that it plays in your body allows you to eat that food that you love so much, right? So if you just take some breaths and just attend to and explore the moment you're in, whatever you're doing, be conscious, awake, aware, and notice your surroundings. You'll feel a difference, whether you're standing in line at the grocery store or whether you're eating your favorite meal. Now, your action step for this week is to see how you can easily incorporate mindful meditation into your life. Maybe try the raisin exercise. You'll be amazed at how mindful meditation can be a part of your everyday life and not take any extra time, but yet it makes a huge difference in your well-being. I want to thank you for joining me at the Holistic Entrepreneur Show today. I know that time is our most precious asset, and so I appreciate you spending your time with me. Now, my purpose is to be of the best service to this community. Whether it's your personal or your work life, I'm here to support you. The best place to get the latest scoop is at bonniegroessl.com. Everything is there. We can connect, and you'll find special offers and gifts that I have for you to help you attain the health, happiness, and abundance you deserve. And I encourage you to sign up for my monthly newsletter for more useful information and exclusive offers. The links are on the show page below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to the Holistic Entrepreneur Show on your favorite podcast directory so that you automatically receive the newest episode when it's released. Until next time, this is Bonnie Groessl, wishing you health, happiness, and abundance.